Hey everybody, it's Tim Sackett and I'm back with a video series called SmashUps, brought to you by the great folks at SmashFly and all my friends over at Fistful of Talent. And once again, I'm invited somebody to come on that I think is super smart, intelligent, knows the industry really well. So Kyle, I'll let you introduce yourself because you have this title that's like 13 words long. So give it to us.
Yeah, and I forgot that you can barely read, so I'll help you out here, brother. Kyle Lagunas, I am research manager at IDC. My practice area is emerging trends and technologies in talent acquisition and staffing.
And a lot of years as an analyst in the space, right?
Yeah, I've been covering this space for like 5 or 6 years. But yeah, I think I'm one of the only research analysts that's been focused on talent acquisition exclusively.
What does that mean?
Well, everyone else will dabble, like they get to pursue like professional curiosity. They'll look at like employee engagement, whether it's total BS or how that's evolving.
Yeah.
They'll look at performance management, like different areas of human capital management.
Okay.
And
You're
me,
focused.
Yeah, I've got my blinders on. I'm focused mostly.
Well, it's smart. It's where all the money is right now, right?
Yeah, baby. Just kidding.
So, hey, we were just at HR Tech, right? Well, first,
Yeah.
how can people get in touch with you? How can they track you down on the interwebs, on the Twitters?
On the interwebs? Well, first of all, don't add me on Facebook unless we are personal friends. It just drives me crazy. Find me on LinkedIn. Please do find me on LinkedIn. Please email me, klagunas@idc.com. I'm very open to connecting, but like Facebook is just a personal space. So,
All right. Are you a Snapchatter?
I mean, yes, but like not for work. I mean, I send people pictures of my dogs. I mean, if you want to see a picture of my dog, you can find me on Snapchat.
All right. Hey, so we were at HR Tech, and we're both going to go to SmashFly's Transform, which is the first recruiting marketing conference of its kind. At least that's what they told me in the marketing materials. And so, but I believe it probably is, right? So we know that that's kind of a trend. Like employment branding has been huge for a few years now. Recruitment marketing now seems to be kind of a trend that's hot. So talk to me a little bit about, kind of where do you see that going within organizations? Like I know people now they have employment branding practices within their organization. They have a manager and staff. What about recruitment marketing?
Well, so Tim, from where I sit, recruitment marketing falls under the umbrella of recruitment marketing. So employer branding is kind of driving that attraction piece.
Yep.
And then recruitment marketing is everything else, like the engagement and nurture stuff. So like you see CRM coming out as a tool, candidate relationship management tools are coming out. Well, recruiters don't know how to use these things because it's a completely different function. It's completely different. So I think we'll start to see headcount growing around CRM. Experts, either they're just community managers working within like talent communities or whatever, or if they're email marketing experts. I definitely think we're going to start seeing specialization further into recruitment marketing. The reason we saw employer brand first, and I mean it was mostly coming out of like big companies with big consumer brands.
Yeah.
They needed a single point person that would own employer brand so they could have someone's neck to hang if something's going wrong. Marketing is very protective. Corporate marketing is very protective of their message, their brand standards, and they need somebody to hold accountable in the organization. I think that's why we saw employer brand first.
Yeah.
But recruitment marketing itself, we'll start to see directors of recruitment marketing. It'll be a lot more of those operations people you see in recruiting.
So, but getting back to the marketing side, right? Because I've worked on corporate, TA gigs, and that was always the constant kind of push, tug, pull. I always made sure I made friends with marketing because I needed their resources. Is this still just one more step towards of pushing talent acquisition out of HR and into the marketing function?
I honestly would love to see it go that way. I would. I mean, it's major controversy, right?
Yeah.
For the old school HR.
Oh, God. HR, don't take that from us. Like they want to hold on to it, right? Like, no, we still have this.
Yeah, I mean, because there are still compliance pieces that need to be managed. There's still oversight that needs to occur. But in terms of vision and in terms of function, we are much more aligned with the CMO than we are with the CHRO.
Yeah.
Just in talent acquisition itself. I mean, like the full talent funnel, pipeline, no, that probably needs to go back to HR. But I mean, recruitment really, really is marketing now, and there's a couple of reasons for it. And Tim, I don't know if you experience this in your practice, but like you might have that badass recruiter that is just so good at finding people, engaging with them, keeping them hot, keeping them like in their pipeline, moving forward. That is hard between. And then enterprise organization, scaling best practice is impossible. So that's what recruitment marketing is trying to do, is take some of those best practices and scale them up. Those great looking emails that your best recruiters send out, the constant engagement that your best recruiters are always doing. We're just trying to scale that. We're trying to operationalize it. And these are, come to find out, marketing functions, really. I mean, It's not so much HR stuff anymore.
So it leads me to my next question, which is around organizationally, when you take a look at TA strategy, what are companies just still flat out missing?
Measures of success, 100%. They have.
So give me some examples.
Performance and recruitment marketing. They have no idea how to measure it. There are a lot of creative people. I mean, we see this on the speaker track and the conferences all the time. People with really cool ideas, doing really interesting things. But what you rarely see is a slide on impact. You rarely see them coming back to and this is what we did. Like, this was the tangible benefit of what we were doing. And that's because even the biggest ideas people we've got right now are still not sure how to measure this. And I think that's where we're going to get some more operations experience as well as marketing experience, because every other business function can show where the money goes and what the result was, what the outcome is. HR for a long time has not been good at that.
Yeah.
Talent acquisition is getting held more and more accountable for this because we're getting more resources.
But give me like a quick example of what they should be measuring. Just off the top of your head.
So I wrote. So part of what I do, no one really knows what an analyst does. Part of what I do is researching emerging best practices, and the way I do that isn't just try to put some stakes in the ground and say define stuff. There is that element. I'm trying to define some of these next practices. This is what it is. This is what it's not. In employer brand, I wrote partnership with Glassdoor. Actually, I wrote a report on quantifying the impact of employer brand, and I did it in a few different ways, and I cut it out into three different levels or three different categories of measurement. At the top is just volume and exposure. You want your brand to go as far and as wide as possible. You want it to you want to have as many people subscribe to your Facebook or follow you on Facebook, and you want to have as many people following your tweets or whatever. Mm-hmm. And that's really good. But left alone, that volume and exposure metric, it doesn't do anything, right? Like, look at all the followers we've got.
Oh, yeah. And it seems like that was the only metric for the longest time. Just measure full number, right?
Right. And our friends in marketing are like, that's really cute. So what? But so then you come down to the next category, which is engagement. And this is interactions, this is shares, this is likes of content. But it's also people like clicking through and actually spending time where whatever the campaign is, whatever your call to action, people are responding to it and they're coming through, and that's engagement. They're applying for jobs. Yep. They're joining your talent network. It's tangible and valuable impact. What people always want to bring it back down to, though, and I think we still should, is the core measures, baseline measures, I call them. Improved quality of candidates, improved quality of hire, which are two different measures, right?
Yep.
You want to make sure that you're getting good candidates.
We could do an entire video cast just on that right there, that concept.
Right. So it comes all, you see where I'm going, though? It's basic stuff. This isn't rocket
it's funnel,
surgery.
man.
We're coming down into this funnel, and that's how we're starting to learn, okay, we have to have measures all the way down. And with employer brand, actually still, it gets a bad rap. People are like, oh, it's just a bunch of BS. It's just more buzzword. And it's not. It's real business function. It is real business driver. We just have to have better measures of success around it.
Cool. I really like that. Hey, quick level set. You're listening to SmashUps with my friend Kyle Lagunas. Lagunas.
I'm not an Olympic diver.
Greg. Yeah, right. It's not. And the great people at FOT, but also Kyle and I are going to be at Transform. So check that out. You can Google Transform and Smashfly and you can find it. It's going to be a great conference just focused on recruitment marketing. So I'm going to throw a question out, and I don't want to limit any of your clients. Don't talk about specific names, right? But I have this feeling that as the organization gets bigger, as enterprise level, right, that talent acquisition becomes worse as a function, and not and really in terms of flat out just recruiting muscle. Like you go and hire a recruiter in a small shop, they're a startup, and they're great, right? They're a hunter, they're killing it, they're finding purple squirrels, and then you put them in a shop that's 20,000 employees, 100,000 employees, and they start posting and praying. They don't do anything that got them there.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because we are terrible at operationalizing best practice. So I was giving you the example about like in your function, in your business now, you have some kick-ass recruiters. They do really cool stuff, but they have an opportunity and an incentive to do that, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Whereas in a corporate gig, there's like, all right, well, I'll take this corporate benefits, I'll take this corporate paycheck, and it's fine. But what we really should be doing is taking those fantastic recruiting resources, those amazing experts, and finding out how they were successful in their agency roles or in their hyper-growth startup roles and scale it, operationalize it. That's where we're starting to see CRM itself has a lot of value. We're staying on top of things. People are not going into black hole. Because even in that post and pray model, you can still get some good candidates through post and pray.
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
not the best candidates, but good enough.
Yep.
And with a CRM function, you can nurture these folks until they're all gold medalists. You won't just be taking 2 out of every 200 that apply and dispositioning the rest. We're actually trying to make a better use of our resources. Like that cost of acquisition is only getting higher for candidates, and now we have an opportunity with these new systems to leverage that investment and make it and drive it further forward.
I get a feeling that technology is advancing so fast on that attraction side, that nurture side, that eventually we're really kind of eliminating sourcing as a function, right? I mean, we have great sourcers that are out there right now, but it seems like potentially you can have a really average recruiter, give them great technology, teach them the process, and they become...
Well, yeah. I mean, semantic search, like search tools themselves have gotten definitely better, but I mean, like, you still have kick-ass recruiters. Like, you know the difference between, like, a fantastic sourcer and just a good search tool.
Yes.
There's a lot more to sourcing than just finding somebody. And I think that's where, like, we'll see people doubling down. I think sourcing will continue to be an expertise. I think that we will see more sourcers moving into a freelance gig, into the agency. They're hired guns, quite literally.
Yeah.
They should get a premium for it. But they'll also be, we see it now. You guys are consultants. You know, you are training your clients on how to do some of these things.
Yep.
And so, no, I don't think it'll go away. I think that instead maybe there will be less people that are sourcers because it's going to be like an elite class of recruiting itself.
I thought that over the last few years, I've seen that kind of transition of sourcing has become so evolved that they became recruiters almost, right? It's like almost like here's what was recruiting, here's what sourcing.
Yeah.
And sourcing was kind of looked down upon. It was like, oh, you guys don't like to talk to people. You just go find me somebody and I'll talk to them and I'll close the deal. And so they even got paid lower. And now it's like flip-flopped. It's like sourcing, it's so much more sophisticated.
Loaded. Yeah. I mean, like, absolutely, it just blows my mind. I'm like, you make how much money? Like, dang.
Well, and I look at, and I've actually talked to like some TA leaders, and I'll look at their shop, because I think big enterprise still has this problem where they go, their sourcing group might be paid similarly to their recruiting group, and sometimes it's still lower. And I'm like, when I take a look at the work that's actually done, I'm like, the work that the sourcing people are doing is so much more valuable than what you have on the recruiting side.
Oh, so I see more recruiters getting nervous than sourcers. I mean, because it turns out they're not that great at this. Like they've got to, in that corporate environment, I mean, it's a thankless job.
Yeah.
I'll give them that. It is a thankless job, but there's a lot of complacency. I mean, look at the recruiting coordinator position. That's probably not going to last much longer.
Right. I mean, you would hope. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because do it yourself. Come on. Get it together. I mean, that was an attempt to scale recruiting operations, but that's a huge resource suck right there. Like right there, you can get automated scheduling tools now. You can get with digital interview, you can get people screened already.
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah, and for $100,000, instead of like however much you pay for your entire coordinating team. So there's going to be a lot of change. I definitely agree with you. Technology is evolving really quickly. I don't think sourcing will go away, but there is definitely a lot of like chaff to be burned away.
Yeah.
Like I do not think that we're optimized recruiting functions at the enterprise level, especially. But even in the mid-size, I still see a lot of waste and like laziness and just like poor utilization of resources. I think that's where technology will take us. Is like we'll better optimize our function, we'll better deploy our teams because we'll start to specialize. I think that things are going to change a lot.
All right, I'm going to let you out on this one. This is an easy one, which is basically tell us something really super smart about talent acquisition. What should everybody know right now?
What should everybody know?
Besides, come see us at Transform in a couple weeks.
Yeah. Well, first of all, come to Transform because I'll see you there. But then also, I think, and you might hate me for this, engagement is so real. Like everyone's now saying, "Oh, I hate engagement. Stop talking about engagement. It's not even real." Like, yeah, that is. We just haven't figured it out yet. So for us, like we need to think about how our metrics are going to evolve in talent acquisition. We're going to be on the hook for quality of hire. We're going to be on the hook for through owning onboarding to make sure that candidates stay engaged or new hires stay engaged after make the transition from candidate. Like engagement's very real and it starts in the recruiting process. We are responsible for driving a huge amount of that. And so be prepared for your KPIs to start evolving because I think it's only a matter of time.
Cool. Hey, thank you very much. Come see Kyle and I at Transform. This is SmashUps. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for the guys at Fistful for letting me do this. We're out of here. See you then.